Hello, Dad. Merry Christmas. I made this video for you because you're probably wondering, why did Robbie get me basically the exact same gift that I got him? Well, there's a really good reason for that. I'm going to show you. And it's called Samsung DeX. And I'm going to teach you how to use it right now. So first thing first, Samsung DeX is a PC type environment that our phones can boot into or screen mirror into by plugging into any HDMI source. You need a power source and you need to convert USB-C to HDMI, and it'll work with any monitor, with a laptop, with a TV, anything with an HDMI input. Now what makes this so great is Samsung makes dedicated peripherals for DeX that are pretty expensive. You know, I got a DeX pad and it's got all the bells and whistles, cooling fan. It was like 120 bucks. These are like 30 bucks. And in principle, you can do this anywhere, really. You take it to hotels, you can take it to offices. The future of personal computing, in my opinion, is portability. It's going to be something like this, a solution where we take our computers with us and we plug them into stations wherever we go. For instance, this has 8 gigs of RAM. I've got a 256 gig storage card in there on top of the 128 gigs internal storage. That's more than this. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to show you how to get started here. So I got the USB-C hub that you got me, which is awesome, by the way. Thank you. It folds in here. You can put it on a belt, on a carabiner or something. So what you need is a power source. So I've got my USB-C plug here, same plug that you use for your to charge your phone. So what you would do is plug it in. So now you have a power source. HDMI coming from the monitor out the back. Found my HDMI in. Go ahead and plug that in. Now, here's where the magic happens. This USB-C side will go into here, and as soon as I do, watch the screen. That's the backdrop I put for Samsung DeX. Now you have options here on your phone. It'll pull up using Samsung DeX. Tap here to switch to screen mirroring. So I have the option to plug this in and just use it to mirror my screen. So everything I do will be on top here. I have the option to go back into DeX. It kind of has to reboot back into that environment. And it's a Linux-based environment. So essentially you're booting into Linux. As a matter of fact, you can get a full Linux distro installed on this thing. But I really like this how it is. What makes it so cool is you can actually use your phone as a touchpad. It gives you the option right here, use your phone as a touchpad. Here we go. Now watch the cursor. Pretty cool, huh? So let's get out of that. That's good if you're like, you know, in a bind or you just want to find some files on your computer or on your phone and you don't want to go through the hassle of you want a bigger screen, something to organize. The beauty of this is you can hook up any peripheral, any keyboard, any mouse to it via Bluetooth, or if you've got one of these hubs here, I've got a Logitech IR keyboard. This doesn't have Bluetooth. It has the dongle and an extender for it. So I'll plug it in to one of my USB 3.0. Could be USB 2.0 too. Plug it into a USB slot there. And then I've got a Bluetooth and IR mouse. So this is connected to the phone via Bluetooth, but we're going to use it with the IR dongle right now. And I'll plug this into port 2. if I can. Okay. So now, got your mouse. It's upside down. Got your mouse. This keyboard has a mouse. Let's go into settings. And now we can start playing around. Any app that's on your phone can open in Samsung DeX. Some of them are more optimized. So if I go into Gmail, for instance, Gmail will be optimized for desktop. You've got the dual pane over here. So basically, it's almost like running Chromium. Samsung's internet. Personally, I use Chrome. You can multi-window. As long as this has power, you can technically use this with just a USB Type-C to HDMI converter and just plug an HDMI cable in here and you'll have access to all this. But if you want the full experience, plug a keyboard in, plug a mouse in, and you can turn anything into your laptop. Block that, I don't want that. So over here, you've got your app screen, just like you would on your normal launcher. And that works with keyboard commands. There are specific keyboard commands for DeX that you can look up over here. This is where your notifications live. You'll see 39% charging. Here's your quick setting toggles. Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, NFC, notifications. And you can scroll through those. Let's clear these out. Now let's say I wanted to open something not even optimized for DeX. Let's go to Fandango. I want to find some movie times. See how it's a little skewed there? Now, there are developer options that can enable and force any app to open in full-size mode. Basically, it just stretches out the UI, but works just like normal. So your phone is the hard drive. Your phone is the CPU that's running everything. The monitor doesn't do anything. This hub doesn't do anything except connect them. And once the phone senses that there's a connection to an HDMI source, it automatically goes into DeX. To get out of DeX, you can exit over here, lock it, labs, force apps to resize. Yes, I want that. Auto open last app whenever I plug in. Nah, I don't want that. Any screen, I would use HD all the way up to 2K. It will support. Multi-window. You've got your home key right here. Also, you'll find keyboard shortcuts on here. Search, escape, let's get out of that. Bring up your browser. Any keyboard will work with these shortcuts. So you could use a wired keyboard and plug it into the USB-C hub. This is just really cool. I actually wouldn't even need a laptop or a desktop computer if it wasn't for the Windows programs that I need for work. I was getting by just fine on my tablet and my phone, but you can't run executables on this. So it's a great supplement to what you have and what you can carry in your pocket. You can add any app to the home screen that you want, just like you would with your normal launcher. You can set it up any way you want. Very customizable. Change the wallpapers. Boom. And once we back out of DeX, Either do that by unplugging it or exiting out of DeX either on your phone or on the front here, and goes back to normal screen mirroring mode. Now, what's also cool about this is you can go into your PC. This has just been allowed with the newest Samsung updates, starting with the Note 10 and the S10 Plus. I don't know if the S9 has this capability yet, but now you can run, before you couldn't run it on a PC or a Mac, but now you can. So I can plug it into here. You have to download DeX first on to your PC or your Mac, and that will give you, it will start up that same environment. It's a little laggy. I really don't recommend using it. Start casting with DeX. Yes, start now. Connect your phone to the USB cable. It is. Try disconnecting and reconnecting. See what I mean by buggy? That's why. It was on image transfers instead of file transfers. Okay, and that should open up DeX. And there again, we've got our DeX environment, which you can still use in conjunction with your Windows programs. It's not taking anything over. It's just using it as an app. And DeX really is just an app. But there you go. That's why I got the USB-C hub. It's something portable, something you can plug in, you can play around with, you can do different things on your phone. You're not just limited to this screen, which I think is really, really neat. And I think eventually we'll get there. Windows tried it with their continuity feature on their Windows phones, which eventually failed. Motorola tried it with a different program back in like 2008. That failed. But as soon as companies like Apple get on board, as soon as companies like Samsung's really been pushing this with the last 3 generations of their phones and their hardware. I could see in the next 10 years us carrying our computers in our pocket, or even wearables to that extent. And that's really exciting to me. That's it. So, Merry Christmas. I love you. Bye.